Well, good evening and welcome to Prime Sports with me, Razak Musbau. Now, former Black Stars captain Stephen Appiah has extolled the tactical ingenuity of Otoado and his technical team ahead of this year's World Cup in Qatar. The Borussia Dortmund talent trainer leads a strong team comprising George Boateng, Didi Dramani, and Chris Hughton. Appiah, who made 67 Ghana appearances, has no doubt the Otoado-led technical team will live up to expectations in Qatar.
Otto is one of those guys that you will never understand him because of the way he carried himself. You will be talking with Otto, he's happy, but you won't see him smiling. Now he's the coach, and I'm very, very happy with George Boateng. I mean, these are two young men who have learned so much, they have learned a lot. They understand the game. They understand the game not because I'm saying that, but they prove it when we played against Nigeria in Abuja. You know, in our system, from the local teams, from the under-17 to the national team, the senior national team, what we know is 4-4-2. But when we played against Nigeria in Abuja, I mean, we saw what they did. All of a sudden, they changed the game to 3-5-2. You can call it another system, but they changed the game. That's why Eguavon was so confused. He was standing there and not understanding the game anymore. So when you want to pick coaches, it's not only what they do at the training ground, it's their impact in the game. And I think that they showed it. So I'm very happy that, I mean, my colleague, Otoado, is now the coach of the Black Stars.
And Didi Dramani is also assisting.
Oh yeah, Didi. I mean, Didi. Talking about Didi, we were in Egypt. I mean, I knew him before Egypt, and this is a man who he has so much. I mean, he's very, very intelligent. He understands the game. He reads the game. So having Otto, George Boateng, and Didi Drama, I think that I mean, that's the best choice. That's the best choice. And I hope we'll go to Qatar and just not go in there, but to make an impact.
Which one do you believe? We're going to make an impact, or we're
no,
just doing
we will. We will, because, I mean, watching our players now, they are all in top form. And, I mean, this is the time I've been seeing, watching Champions League, watching the Europa Cup, I've been seeing Ghanaians playing.
Okay.
So that means, I mean, they are doing well. And I hope that they will take the same form to Qatar.
Now, one player who has been knocking on the door of the Black Stars ahead of the 2022 World Cup in Rio Aves Abdul Aziz. The striker, who has been in sublime goal-scoring form at his club, has been included in Ghana's 55-man provisional squad. Zach Lowy, a Portuguese league expert, will be surprised if Abdul Aziz does not make the final squad for the tournament. He has been speaking to Fifi Manfred of our sister station, Isho FM.
That Ghana, their new additions, they've definitely been exciting. But apart from Iñaki Williams, I just don't see anyone in their attack who is giving me that same guarantee of goals, aerial ability to kind of hold the ball up under pressure and lead his team at a counterattack. For me, him and Boateng have both been so important. I think that Aziz has probably just been slightly ahead of him right now. But, you know, they have formed a fantastic striker pairing at Rio Ave. And yeah, like I said, have allowed them to become an effective counterattacking side. No side in Portugal is outperforming their expected goals quite like them. And I think that's a testament to both of their fantastic finishing ability. So yeah, I got to say, I'm a bit surprised that Aziz did not get called up for at least the 55-man provisional squad. I know that, you know, Ghana, they're going through an interesting process right now, right, where they are calling through so many new faces, you know, players such as Antoine Semenyo, Tariq Lamptey. I know they're trying to get Caleb Hudson-Odoi, not sure what's the deal with that, but, you know, perhaps it makes them forget. I don't want to say forget their own. Players who are doing it in lower leagues like Portugal, like Aziz, a team that like Rio Ave, that does not get that much in the way of media coverage. But he's been fantastic for them. They have not really been in danger of going down so far, which is fantastic for a newly promoted side. Actually, all three of the teams, Casapia, Chaves, and Rio Ave, doing very well following their return.
Still on the Black Stars, Clermont Foot defender Alidu Seydou has urged Otoado and his technical team to be confident in his selection of players to the World Cup. The enterprising defender has been speaking to Joy Sports' Gary Ausman on Star Connect, which airs on Joy Prime at 9 p.m. today.
And we are in Paris, France. It is our next destination for this episode of Star Connect. We are going to Clermont Foot to speak to Alidu Seydou. If you had a message for Otoado getting into the World Cup, as he has to choose from all of you.
All what I can say to Otoado is to get the confidence, because Ghanaian they will talk. That's for sure. Ghanaian they will talk, but all what, yeah, they will talk. But all what I can tell Otoado is to get confidence, and yeah, the player that is going to call, even if I'm part or not, I'll always try to support Ghana, and I know the players who will be going to the World Cup, they will give their best, and yeah.
Star Connect shows at 9 p.m. on Thursdays and 9 a.m. on Saturdays on Joy Prime, powered by Positive Communications, Platinum Live, 9K Media Hub, media partners Joy Prime, Joy News, and Joy FM.
Well, when it comes to Gusa Games, the University of Ghana has carved out for itself a niche in the basketball championship. Legon's men's basketball team, the University of Ghana Gorillas, have won 3 of Gusa's last championship, but face an uphill task this year, as no member of the current team has any Gusa experience, a trait which could prove problematic, as shown at the 2022 FASU Games, where they lost all their games. Yes, the Gorilla are confident of defending their Gusa title. Michelle Quenu of Joy Sports have been following the story and put together Gorilla Quest.
The basketball court of the University of Ghana, home to the UG Gorillas, 4-time UPAC champions, 3-time FASU champions, and also 3-time Gusa champions. More impressively, the UG Gorillas are the only local team to have a 6-year unbeaten run. However, unfortunately, they were beaten this year at the FASU Games by Kenyatta University. Putting that disappointment behind them, however, they are looking forward to this year's Gusa Games and hopeful of extending their local dominance. But with a fairly new technical team and also a wholly new playing body, we want to find out how they expect to do that. Rolling on this year's Gusa Games. Catch for me, bro.
When the final whistle of the basketball championship of Gusa 2020 blew, it only meant one thing: that the UG Gorillas have successfully defended their gold medal from 2018. It was the third successive time the bullish blue and yellow boys had managed to win gold at Gusa, and they celebrated as if it was the first. Tradition had it that the team had now qualified to represent Ghana in the basketball championship of that year's FASU Games. By the turn of fortunes with the advent of COVID-19, meant they were unable to do so. However, 2 years down the line, the Gorillas finally got the opportunity to compete in Africa, a space they had also conquered in their last successive attempt. After victory in 2016 and 2018, they entered the 2022 edition as 2-time defending champions, but only after the well-established and experienced winning team had been phased out. So, it was not meant to be, and the Gorillas went in, lost their gold medal, and consequently their unbeaten streak of 6 years.
I just don't remember it because it was really, really painful. Because we had a good team, to say we had a good team, and we just blew it all. All 4 years, 5 years, 10 years of hard work, we just blew it. It was very painful.
Aptly said. Defeat to Kenyatta University in their first game of FASU 2022 meant years of hard work, starting in 2016 with Mimi Falcon as head coach and down to Coach Samori, which had led the Gorillas, leaving their marks of domineering class on the continent, had all been lost. But instead of drowning in a pit of pity sorrow, Back at the sports directorate of the University of Ghana, there was acceptance of fate and also a resolve to start rebuilding what the team had grown to be known.
It is a normal phenomenon in sports that at some point you rule and you reign, and at some point you come down. There is always the down. We have taken it aside, we have gone back to the drawing board, and you have to understand every team, every nation had troubles with practicing and exercising, but we do not have to forget that the Eastern and Southern Africans were already practicing sports for months before we even got there. But that is not understood. What I'm trying to say is we I think experienced or went through the normal trend of sport. Today you are on top, tomorrow you are down. You come back, get back to the drawing board, put things together and move on, and I think that is what is happening.
For a chance to go back and right wrongs in Africa, the Guerrillas will have to beat the rest of Ghana's tertiary teams again at the 2022 Gusa Games. But besides their wobbly strength after losing their 6-year unbeaten streak, there's a seemingly bigger problem. No member of the current team has ever featured in the Gusa Championship, and they are coming up against the more experienced sides of the University of Cape Coast Wildcats and also Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology's men's basketball team. But the message to an inexperienced guerrilla team is clear.
Just being relentless. That's all, just being relentless. I mean, it's not basketball that we've never played before. It's just being about on the court and giving out just holding the ball and putting it in the net. So just being yourself and just winning it.
If you look at our training from day one to now, from on the 13th of October up to now, you can see improvement in them. So you can see that still they can excel in Gusa. This team have a little bit lapses out there, but yes, they will get to the finals. And when we get to the finals, that is the bridge, we'll cross the bridge.
The Guerrillas' dominance has not singularly been due to performances on the courts, but also a culture which has been built into the blue and yellow jerseys. And while the current side is a largely new one, team captain Emmanuel Atabedu was closely associated with the team during their periods of dominance and understands it is now its responsibility to ensure the very new members grab onto the culture quickly.
I mean, it's hard because they don't know what you are trying to instill into them, and they are also grown up. So you have to show them what it's being gorilla, what it entails, what everything that comes with it. And they think you are forcing them, but when you get the results, they know that this is what it means to be a gorilla. It doesn't just come to you because you just put on a jersey.
A clearly daunting task, but for Michael Atuple and Kelvin Jones, newly drafted members of the side, they view this year's Gusa Games as the opportunity to write their own folklore, despite losing the prestige of a long-running unbeaten streak.
We've sat behind and watched our predecessors do a very good job, so being part of the team alone is a great feeling. A primary thing you need to understand that here winning is something we are solely made of. You just come to win. So if you are not here to win, you can't be on this team.
All the other disciplines have courage in the basketball team more than other disciplines because they know that basketball we always win gold in all the tournaments we play. So they have huge and big courage in us that will be winning there. So they know that as for the basketball team, we are not that. We are very strong and firm in winning our matches and bringing the victory home.
While the men's teams look to re-establish their ascendancy, the women's side, the UG Amazonians, will be looking to start a streak of their own after sweeping aside the field en route to winning gold in Gusa 2020. But they also face similar issues to the Guerrillas, with a new look team after a transition of players. But there is work to ensure the Amazonians stand out in the backyard of rivals KNUST.
It's normal, like everywhere you go, it's normal. Definitely when you get to another zone, like they're going to give you the heat and then the pressure. So my girls and I, we really talk. And most of them are scared, not scared because of the competition, but then they are scared because they are going to another territory. But then coming together as one, as I said, teamwork, and then psyching themselves that they are going to win gold for UG. Is the goal.
But for the Guerrillas, The quest to win the Gusa Basketball Championship 4 times in a row begins by scaling over the challenge presented by the Akenton Apia Menka University of Skills Training and Entrepreneurial Development, Almusted, Ghana Institute of Management and Public Administration, GIMPA, and also the University of Professional Studies, with whom University of Ghana is drawn in Group A.
Well, the Gusa Games is underway, and we'll definitely follow that and bring you up to speed on all that happens. Earlier today, KNUST and the Ghana Institute of Journalism were involved in the football game where KNUST trashed GIJ by 6-0. We'll be back shortly after this break. Welcome back. Now, Ghanaian young star Prince Edu Kwabena has opened up on his failed move to Danish top flight side Rangers. The 19-year-old was close to securing a permanent transfer to the club in Denmark, but the move collapsed following a high asking price by his former club, Bechem United. Joy Sports' Adamu Benin Abdul Karim spoke to him and filed this report.
The teenage sensation bagged 8 goals in 13 games for Bechem United in the 2019-2020 Ghana Premier League season, which was truncated as a result of the outbreak of the COVID-19 pandemic. Randers began keeping tabs on the 19-year-old and successfully negotiated for his services in September 2021. Kwabena signed a 6-month deal for the Danish side. He joined with a ligament injury, which was treated by the club. Randers' aim was to sign Kwabena for the next 4 years after the expiration of his initial short-term deal. However, Bechem United's demand for a high transfer fee collapsed the deal.
After they do the, said they was expecting like within 3 months or 4 months the knee will be healed properly and everything. Then I'll start playing matches and those. But after 6 months, still the knee was not healed properly, So they decide to, okay, if that is the problem, then Bechem United have to reduce it, then they'll just sign me. But I think the agreement did not go well.
Following the expiration of his contract, Kwabena is open to signing a new deal with the Hunters.
I know, but my manager too is part of me, and we have already spoken. So we know the decision we want to take right now. So if when they speak with him and it go well, it's cool, because right now I'm ready to join the team and they are still talking about it. So I think the decision my manager will take, that one I'm going to follow.
Kwabena, who featured for Bechem United in the Galka G6, is yet to play for the club in the Ghana Premier League this season.
Well, that's Edu Kwabena. Wishing him the very best. But France, reigning champions of the World Cup, has confirmed their FIFA World Cup 2022 squad list ahead of the event scheduled to kick off in Qatar. France will begin their World Cup 2022 title defense in November, and the head coach Didier Deschamps has confirmed his squad ahead of the event. Notable players such as N'Golo Kante and Paul Pogba missing out due to injury, but the 2018 World Cup champions are very confident of a very good performance, with Karim Benzema returning to the side after his suspension and his inability to be in the squad in 2018. So that's it for the bulletin. Hopefully tomorrow or Friday, Ghana's 26-man squad will be released. But there's more stories on myjoyonline.com/sports. My name is Razak Musbau, and up next, SPM Express.